Hi there, everyone. Carolyn Russin, professional life coach here. Want to talk to you today about joy, shocking, but looking at those joy killers that we have in our lives. And we all have them, and they all affect us in different ways. And often it's these little things, these thought patterns, and where we go to when things happen that aren't positive, and how we sabotage ourselves. Hi, Deborah. And that's how our happiness and our joy get diminished. So I want to jump right in. I've got a number of them. I just kind of brainstormed and wrote down things that to me, hi Jennifer, how they can kill our joy. So the first one I like to talk about is the comparison trap. Hi Sarah. And we all get sucked into that, because we all like to kind of compare where we're at with other people. And I don't mean this in a mean, nasty way at all. It kind of gives us a sense of, we're doing okay. It's all good. Or maybe we're not. Here, I'll give you a perfect example. I just thought of this. Many of you know or don't know, I've got 3 kids. I have twins. I had twins first, and then my daughter 2.5 years later. So think back, they're older now. But when they were little, and my husband traveled a lot, and, sometimes it was crazy. 3 kids under 2.5, it would get a little hectic at times. Anyway, what I would like doing was getting together with another friend of mine who had the exact same situation. Hi, Julie. Hi, Christine. She also had a set of twins and another child afterwards. And we would get them together. And when I would start thinking on my own that, why is this kid doing that of mine? Or why aren't they doing this or that? And then I got them together with others and realized, oh, this is normal. I'm sure even now, like if you're talking to other parents of, teenage kids or kids who are in their 20s or 30s and hearing, oh yeah, like I'm dealing with this with my child or my adult child. And it's kind of reassuring thinking, oh yeah, so am I. Hi, Jojo. So comparing isn't always bad. Sometimes it's reassuring, but it's when you get comparing and thinking, well, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that and this isn't happening. And social media makes it so tough. Because of course you're seeing everyone's perfect lives on social media. It's not very often that you see reality. So really checking in with, am I comparing all the time? And if so, of course, that's going to kill your joy. The next one is perfectionism or self-criticism and perfectionists. As women, I would really love to have some scientific study to see the number of perfectionists as far as women are concerned versus men. I would bet my life women are way higher when they're expecting to be perfect. Hi, Jennifer. So I want you to think about that. Does everything have to be perfect for you? And what if it's not? What if it isn't perfect? What does that really mean to you? And for so many people, hi Wanda, being perfect is, if I'm not perfect, I'm not good enough. And so that, of course, how can you experience joy when you're expecting yourself to be perfect all the time? So what if you're not? That's okay. And you know what? I'll give you a little hint. When you're not perfect, it is so reassuring for everyone else. How intimidating is it when you have somebody around you that seems to be perfect all the time? It's hard. Even for your kids, it's important for them to see you're not perfect. You make mistakes. And then they get to learn, what do you do after you make a mistake? How do you learn from it? It's a great learning opportunity. The next one is neglecting self-care. Again, as women, we are so good at this, neglecting ourselves, because we put ourselves down the bottom of the priority list. We're always looking after everyone else. So what are you going to do for you? And what can you commit to? Because again, we're so good at, oh yeah, I need to look after my self-care. Yes, I need to do that. And you need to, but are you? What exactly are you doing on a regular basis for self-care? Give me a thumbs up if this is something you do on a regular basis. Give me a thumbs down if not so much. The next one I want to talk to is a biggie as far as I'm concerned. It's holding on to the past. This is where I see so many women get stuck because they are holding on to the past, whether they're doing this consciously or subconsciously, and not being able to let go, not being able to forgive, and to move on and create a new story for themselves. They're living in the old story and holding on to that. And for those of you that think, well, no, I'm not. I had a lot of crap, but I think I've kind of put it past me. It stays in there subconsciously. Basically, in your subconscious, you've got that's where all your memories are stored. And all your charged emotions for those memories are in there. Your brain is not going to release those charged emotions because there are positive learnings attached. This is what I do through timeline therapy with my clients, where we dump all those charged emotions because we pull out all the positive learnings. So when you think, well, yeah, I had crap in my background, and even if you didn't, we all carry around this garbage with us, and it affects everything today. It affects our perspective. It affects how we look at things, how we interpret things, the decisions that we make, the choices that we make. So when I talk about letting go of the past, it's also letting go of all of that. And again, at a subconscious level, we're carrying that around with us. The next one is fear of change and therefore staying in your comfort zone. Again, so many women, one of the objections that I get from some women as far as afraid to move forward with me is the fear of change. And yet, again, at a subconscious level, it's easier for us to stay where we are. It's comfortable. We know what to expect. So that fear of change. So if I change, then what? Then what is expected of me? Then what am I going to have to do? Because where I am, it's comfortable. It's icky, but it's comfortable. So that fear of change, that's a big one. Hi ladies, hi Sean, hi Bridget and Angie. The next one is overcommitting and having a lack of boundaries. Again, there's that perfectionist coming in. Hey, Jamie, where you want to keep everybody happy. You want to make everyone happy. You want to be everything for everyone, and you overcommit, and then you're exhausted. You're drained. You don't have time for self-care. You can't look after that. And when you're doing that all the time, it's because of those lack of boundaries. And one really important skill as we get older, because we didn't learn it when we were younger, is how to say no and feel okay about it and not say no and then feel guilty and then turn around and say, well, okay, I'll do that for you. And just protecting yourself and your own best interest and just your own mindset. So always overcommitting. And when you're overcommitting all the time, there's a reason why you're doing that. And that's something else that I jump in with my clients to look at. The next one I'm going to talk about is negative social media influences. And I kind of alluded to that earlier. But just who are you connected with on social media? What kind of conversations do you get into with people on social media? Is it really kind of bickering back and forth of this and that, and does it pull you down? Or are you on social media looking for inspiring things, which is one of the reasons I'm sure many of you people are in this group. But think about, what are you doing on social media and how does it affect you? Because again, I have lots of clients who will say to me, Carolyn, I'll sit down and I start scrolling Facebook, and an hour later I'm still scrolling Facebook. And I just want you, when you do that, stop and think, okay, how do I feel now? Has this inspired me? Has this energized me? Has this drained me? Because it will affect you. So just noticing that. The next one I want to look at is lack of purpose or lack of goals. And again, at this point in our lives, many women struggle with that lack of purpose. So who am I now? I've raised kids, they're gone, haven't really paid much attention to my career, don't really know what I'm doing, if I'm married, who is this man that I'm looking across the table at because we've neglected each other, so I don't even know who he is anymore. He doesn't even know who I am anymore. Hi, Jane, and hi, Marina. And so looking at that, like that purpose, like what is your purpose now? And if you don't know, it's tough, and that will suck your joy out for sure. So taking that time to really figure out, okay, well, what am I all about now? My purpose isn't really needed anymore if you're busy raising kids and looking after your family and all that. Well, what now? What's your story now? Because often the catch is that we get stuck living our old story. And because situations have changed, but we're living the old story, that's why we're not happy, because we're not really feeling fulfilled. So again, that's something else that I really help my clients with a lot, is looking at, okay, what is the new purpose? What is it? What's going to really give you joy? What's going to make you feel alive? So it's all about empowerment. What are you going to do? What can you do to change, to move forward? Where are you at now? Do you even know where you're at? Sometimes we're not really aware, but we know that deep down we're not happy and we're not feeling that joy. So it's about kind of doing an assessment about where are you right now and how can you start to move forward. You know, my tagline has always been, find your path, change your story. So you don't like where you are right now. It's all about finding that new path and figuring a way, okay, how do you change your story? Because you don't have to stay in the same story. None of us have to. But it's about having that courage to take that step and move forward. If you would like to have a chat with me about where you are, where is your path right now? Do you want to change your story? Type me below. I can set that up easily, no problem. It's a free call. We can have a quick chat and just see what that would look like for you. I do this with all my clients. We look at where they are, where they want to be, and how we can take them there. So hopefully this has resonated with you. As I was going through these, I realized I could have done a Facebook Live on each one individually because they're big. But these are joy killers, you know, looking at all those things like the comparison trap, being a perfectionist, neglecting yourself, holding on to the past, fear of change, overcommitting, negative social media, not having a purpose. So those are big ones. If you join partway through, feel free to listen to it again. I leave these in my group so you can listen to them. And if you're watching this on a replay, type replay below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day.